The fate of the Tates' extended prison stay was in fact decided today. Seemingly out of nowhere, the court decided to drag everybody from the prison, head on down to that Bucharest courtroom, and see what the hell they're going to be dealing with here for the next 30, 60, 90, I think that's about as far as I can go at this point in time. How many more additional days the Tates will be staying in captivity alongside Luana and Georgiana as well. All four of them still in prison at this point in time. At the point, actually I should just amend that, at the point of the hearing going down earlier today. Seen what was going on. I'd seen this announcement this morning. I knew it was coming, didn't think it would be happening today. So we've had quite a bit of evidence come the public's direction, especially those WhatsApp leaks, and it's like, okay, Tates were set up. You had the two girls come out repeatedly, the two victims that said that, no, actually, we love the Tates, and we're not victims to get our name off of this. We're filing petitions. And you also had the judge's ruling during this previous 30-day stay in prison come out and say, no, you guys actually don't know what you're talking about, and you're being brainwashed. And it's been corroborated that those psychologists never talked to the two girls. They just went off of statements from the two other hoes that are right now just getting flued out around the rest of the world after the raid on the Tate compound decided to hitch their flights off to the French Riviera, where they can drive around in Bentleys wearing some dude's AP. Great, wonderful, fantastic. Going off of their statements, you know, the Moldovan stripper who it is noted and has corroborated as much to the likes of the BBC. She was simply trying to extort Andrew Tate for 200,000 euros. Yeah, euros, I got that right. Trying to get a social media career off the ground. And then the American girl, who has a history. 4 other times she has been caught making false allegations on a man's name. This is what happens when you don't hold any of these broads accountable. They continue to run around. And because this happened in a place where the legal system is a little bit bought and paid for, can we agree to that at this point in time? Because at least if these accusations would have came out in America, the UK, even up here in Canada, in commie Canada, the longest these people would have been held in jail for, 24, 48 hours, that would have been the only preventative holding they would have been theoretically allowed to keep them for. But as we sit right now, what is it? 6 days out from the end of the preventative holding, or whatever the hell they want to call it. 54 days in captivity. Tristan has a brand new baby out there in the world that he has yet to meet because the Romanian authorities are not letting anybody in there to go visit them. They have, 1 hour a day to be on social media, and they still haven't been charged with anything. So before they went into the courtroom, there were some statements that were captured, and once again, shout out to the censored man for catching all of this stuff. Don't know who this guy is, but he's doing a hell of a good job on a bunch of stuff. So here are the statements that I seen. Okay, so Eugene Vidnaek, one of the lawyers of the two Britons, said that he expects a favorable solution from the magistrates, the release of the Tate brothers. Well, there was 4 people in captivity, and he did receive a favorable solution. Some of them, if the solution is unfavorable, we will certainly challenge it, he pointed out, until we have analyzed and reanalyzed the evidence administered in this case until this moment. Today, we insisted on the fact that the grounds that were had when taking the measure of preventative arrest disappeared and ceased. You'll love this bungled translation a bit. Grammar's a bit off. Through the efficiency of the defense, we say, we have effectively paralyzed the evidence administered until now in the case, so that the grounds have ceased and the new grounds are not likely to lead to an extension of the measure of preventative detention, explained Eugene Vidnaek. Okay, well, great, wonderful, fantastic. What does that mean? The defense has been able to look at any of the evidence that the prosecution is bringing to them so far. They take a look at it and it's like, okay, that's all you got? Why are we keeping our boys in prison right now? We have a lot of confidence in today's solution because, in essence, the prosecutor's office failed to bring new elements from the perspective of the initial accusations formulated since day one, since the end of December 27th, 2022. They have yet to acquire any new evidence into their investigation. So it's almost like, under a reasonable interpretation of events, wow, if you've had all of this time, unrestricted access to literally everything, and you can't come up with any new evidence to support your initial claims, it's almost like there's nothing there. How about that conclusion? But no. They're convinced that there's something there, but I'll continue. Nothing new was brought in light of the perspective of the evolution of the investigation, a very good matter for the defense. You would think DIICOT came up with the circumstantial issue, their attitude in the state of arrest. What are they supposed to be? Are they talking in relative to their social media posts that are being managed from the outside? Like, is that what we're talking about here? They're not being remorseful enough? Well, they haven't fucking done anything. Why are you being remorseful over that? Anyways, which seems to me to be an absolutely unjustified, unproven issue that cannot support a preventative arrest measure in the future, said Constantine Gilia. Must be another one of the defense attorneys. The defense attorneys for the two millionaires also said that there is no prosecution was extended against Andrew Tristan Tate for any other act. Oh, so for those money laundering tards that are out there that says, they're investigating for money laundering in Hustlers University. No additional prosecution extended against the Tate brothers. So take that theory and shove it up your ass. Get fucked with all of that. I'm tired of seeing that. After 2 months of preventative detention, it is unnatural to be in the file in exactly the same phase as you were 2 months ago, when the measures of preventative detention was taken, according to the cited source. Yeah, you would think, okay, they came up with these initial allegations, enough to get them detained in order to conduct your goofy-ass investigation. Millions of seized property later, 2 months deep, working, with unfettered access to everything, so what'd you come up with? Well, 2 people can be released. The girls are out. The Tate brothers' stay has been extended. I can't believe this. One good thing that comes out of this, yeah, Georgiana and Luana are out. Congratulations, fantastic. That is great. They're going to be on house arrest. They still haven't been charged with anything, but you can go out and you can be in house arrest, but the Tate brothers themselves have to stay in court. Why? Why? This just exposes right here just how corrupt this bullshit totally is. I'm furious about this is a bit of an understatement because it makes zero sense. We know the 2 big charges up at the top. You got EPAR and you got human trafficking. And then it's supposed to be alleging that all 4 of those people were committing some sort of racketeering enterprise. Oh, they were this criminal human trafficking, sexual trafficking enterprise. All 4 of them. So you let the 2 girls go, but you keep the boys back? I thought they were all supposed to be on equal footing when it came to this human trafficking ring. This just shows this is the most clear-cut example. This is political prosecution. It's just, I don't even know what to say at this point in time. I'm absolutely furious because this is about the dumbest thing that they could have done. Okay, you let the 2 girls go on house arrest. So if you're going to be doing the exact same thing for charges that haven't been laid or anything like that, why keep the brothers in prison? Why keep them there? You could monitor them from the outside looking in, like you're going to be doing with the girls as well. So why do that? Why do that? This was the dumbest thing that they could have done. So I don't know if they're trying to stoke this kind of response because just running down everything that they have so far. Okay, so no new evidence. No evidence at all. Victims who planned it out and proven, back that up. One of the girls' victims has a deep past of making accusations. That's a Miami girl. CCTV evidence thrown out. The prosecution is the only side that's allowed to present evidence. The judge is looking specifically at the state side. As for the defense, it's everything can be corroborated with our very extensive CCTV footage from the compound. The girls were coming in and going. Nobody was keeping them back. Yeah, there were armed guards preventing anybody from coming in, but nobody was prevented from leaving at any point in time. They were well looked after. They were put up in hotels. Everything was perfect except for when they figured out that the money train was leaving the station and they didn't have a ticket, so they just decided to concoct themselves one. Phone chat evidence not used. Not looking at those wiretaps. Okay. Alleged victims saying they're not victims, and 2 of them, we have no fucking idea if they even exist. So free them. Yeah, no, I agree, Tam. Now we have interviews. Censored Man once again has some interviews from the lawyers, and I don't know if this is just going to end up recapping everything, but oh man, it looks like it's all subtitles, so at least I can scrub through most of this stuff. Don't need to. So from there, I can just scrub along. They have a person reading the closed captioning, but it's my video. I run the show here. We have just finished discussing the second proposal to extend the preventative detention measure. The court has yet to rule on this. They will deliberate. Surely we won't. Oh, they will get the court's decision, probably asking about the wiretaps in the letter. And under no circumstances was this an argument for extending the measure. What do you expect according to the reporter? A favorable court decision. Will it be contested if the decision is unfavorable? Certainly. What was the discussion in the courtroom? What are your hopes? We have the hopes and what was discussed in the courtroom. Given the non-public phase of the trial, I cannot divulge this, unfortunately, any of the additional information that's out there, obviously. What was discussed differently from the past appeals? If until now we have analyzed and re-examined the evidence submitted in the case so far, today we have insisted on the grounds that were taken into account when the preventative arrest measure was taken, have disappeared, have ceased through the effectiveness of the defense. We say that we have effectively paralyzed the evidence administered. Yeah, DIICOT only came up with some absolutely circumstantial issues. Their attitude while in detention, which is to me, oh yeah, okay, cannot ordinarily support a measure of preventative arrest in the future. How? Oh, has the letter been brought up? I would imagine that was probably, yeah, it's got to be the wiretap. Can new charges be brought on the basis of this letter? There's no mention of any letters or other matters. Of course not. I'm not allowed to talk about that stuff, you know, because it's actually helpful evidence for the Tates. You want to die inside. That's exactly what I said. I have no new evidence. Oh, they have not come forward with any new evidence regarding the original acts in which the clients were charged with. Has a criminal investigation been extended for money laundering? Ooh, that's what I want to know, because I've just been real heated about that stuff. I don't know anything about it for sure, but was this dropped because it had been considered? No, that's just what some spurgs on the internet have talked about. Criminal investigation regarding our clients, hasn't been extended to any other offenses, let alone money laundering. In your opinion, is it a process, a normal duration, the extension to 2 months? Okay, 3 months. From my experience, I can tell you that this is a natural 2 months of preventative arrest, the criminal case. Based on your experience, what would be the reason for it? Please ask another institution this question. Must be some borked translation issue. How are they at this moment? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Hopeful, but also disappointed with the way things are going from this perspective of the evolution of the criminal investigation. We know that the main reason for which the court admitted the preventative arrests were that the two could influence the victims or flee the country. And Mr. Vidnaik said, that the reasons would cease. How exactly? Mr. Vidnaik does not say it. The European case law says it, and the case law for the European court, which constantly says that you cannot keep coming back with the same reasons, so you have to provide new evidence, which Romania is like, yeah, that's nice, we don't care though, that you initially had in mind when you took the preventative arrest measure. You have to bring new elements, and we know how far that got. Has the evidence been, the evidence from the computer search has been analyzed. Did the prosecutors tell you if they finished analyzing that? Following the computer search is carried out from what is in the file, no new evidence has been brought to date. Man. So just a couple of statements from Andrew's social media account. I don't know if he had access to this or, it's just somebody speaking on his behalf, but this might have been during the time that they were in court. So who knows? Okay. My legal team has done a fantastic job today. As of today, the judges have been given a very close understanding of the truth behind the allegations against me. True colors were brought to light. Inshallah, I will be freed. Eventually. And then right after the announcement, I will meditate deeply over this decision. Yep. They're trying to break him. Trying to break him and Tristan and anybody who supported him in general. Okay? Take a look at what the world is trying to prop up in his absence at a point in time when he can't defend himself. You don't need to look very far, and I don't need to point out specific examples, but independent thought is quenched. Anybody saying anything good about Andrew Tate? Hell, there's billions of dollars, billions of pounds being spent in the UK public school system to deprogram young men away from the harmful words of Andrew Tate, which are maximize your own abilities, take care of women, they're the most precious thing on the planet Earth, become a strong, capable individual. Like, what's hateful about that message? being independent of a system that wants to be able to control you completely and fully. A system that can pluck you directly out of society if it no longer likes what you're saying. This is a man who has not had a free moment outside of the confines of a Romanian prison in 2023. And things will likely stay that way pending appeal, but we've seen how those appeals have been treated lately, just taken and thrown away. So him and his brother are going to be in prison until at least March 27th. On what grounds? Yeah, good fucking question. But you see his responses on social media. I will meditate over this decision, or I will meditate deeply, need to get it correct, over this decision. They're trying to break me, thrown inside a cell without light. Cockroaches, lice, bedbugs are my only friends at night. When the guards bring me to and from the courtroom, I stay absolutely respectful. They try to pour hatred into my heart, but please and thank you, stick with me at all times. My prison guards are just performing their jobs. They have families to feed. In times of hardship, do not forget your manners. They are trying to break my iron mind with unjust imprisonment. Absolute respect for everybody around me is an act of absolute rebellion. They cannot break me. My guards know I am innocent. They know this is unjust, or that it is unjust. See, I will never break and respect my resolve. That's the type of harmful rhetoric that the judge wants to try to force out of him. It is so obvious. It's so obvious with releasing the women on house arrest, which, is justifiable. It's in fact something that should have been afforded to everybody in this unjust investigation. But because he and his brother are posting, they won't be broken. They won't be kowtowed by the system that is actively attacking them. That is something that they want driven out of them. Man, they're taking this like absolute champions, and the outside world is actively trying to destroy them, warp their message, break their message. I know I'm going to be working overtime, whatever I can do in this situation to spread awareness about this stuff, because this is repugnant. It has been since day one, and this development here today, it just tells me that I got to do some more. I've got to figure out how we can take this support to the next level. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone, and free the Tates.